It's 7 o'clock on a Monday night, and it's Knightline Live. I'm Jerry Middleton, and with me as usual is Rick Fletcher. And Rick, we had a packed and stacked house tonight, and also a show.
Well, we do, and I think we got a line at the door that just can't wait to get in. We got a lot to talk about tonight, Jerry. First, I want to give a plug to one of our sponsors because I was running a little late, so I was hungry. So I stopped at Martin's Country Mart. I don't know if you can see this, but I'll show it to the camera. And I'll tell you, if you're ever over there, get their chicken bacon ranch sub. It was absolutely delightful.
I will try that this week.
That was Martin's Country Mart. We appreciate their sponsorship. All our sponsors. We appreciate all of them.
So what we got going tonight, Rick?
We got a lot to talk about. Wrestling has started, so we're going to have new head coach Todd Kroll is going to be with us, along with the only senior on the team. That's Michael Henderson. And as you know, we love wrestling around here. We've learned a lot over the last couple of years. Yep. So they're going to tell us what's going on there. It's our hope that our plan, anyways, to broadcast at least their senior night and do the sectionals and regionals because they'll be at Centerville in Richmond again this year. So hopefully we'll get that done. Now, normally we talk about sports, right?
Yep.
That's our typical thing. But tonight we're going to talk about band. Addison Markers, a junior here at Northeastern, and she won an award. So her and assistant or middle school band director Kimberly Miller, they're going to join us. And our hope is, Jerry, after they're done, people will run down to the band room to sign up to be in the band.
There we go. That's what we'd like to hear.
Hopefully it can be a recruitment tool for them. But we'll see. What else happened? Cheerleaders. Crazy. Yeah, they had a big event down at Newcastle. And so we're going to break that down. Just like we break down the basketball plays, we're going to break down cheerleading.
Wow.
And we got a little video to go along with that. I'll tell you what, Jerry. Those cheerleaders work like crazy. I mean, it's not easy work. That's hard. I mean, being an expert cheerleading judge as
aficionado
as you are now, okay?
Yes.
You saw. Yeah. We've seen up close. You know what these ladies go through, and it's tremendous. I mean, really, they put on a great show, and my understanding is they're not stopping. They're going to keep going. Yeah. So good for them. And congratulations, and we'll talk about cheering here a little bit later in the show.
We also had volleyball released the Tri-Eastern Conference all-conference selections.
A lot of nights on that list.
Well, a lot of nights. First of all, honorable mention went to Addie Mastriano, or Moss as we call her. All-conference was Olivia Knoll and Kate Benjamin. And then the high honors went to Emma Neely and Lily Knoll as the Tri-Eastern Conference Co-Players of the Year.
I mean, was there any doubt, honestly?
No.
I mean, we're homers. We freely admit that. We've seen all the lady knights in their volleyball matches, or most of them. And, Emma and Lily, they got it done the whole year.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
They were right there, and it was fun. We had a lot of fun. I know you and I had a lot of fun covering volleyball. It was sad to see it come to an end. So congratulations to the ladies. All seniors except for one. Olivia Null's only a sophomore, so she'll be back next year. So, anyways, the bar has been set for volleyball.
Oh, right? back-to-back sectional champions, conference champion. It's been set.
The bar's been set, and so those youngsters, those underclassmen that are coming back, you know what you got to do now. I was at Worthen Arena here on Saturday, watched a little 2A volleyball. I'll tell you what, Burris, you want to see what volleyball is supposed to look like, you go watch them play.
They're the real deal.
They were excellent. So if you ever get a chance to go to one of these things, you ought to go because they're a lot of fun. and you see some great volleyball. So we'll give them a shout out.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Burris. Only the 23rd state championship. So
We'd also would be remiss if we didn't bring up the big news in the state of Indiana is the passing of Coach Bob Knight.
yeah, an icon.
Oh my gosh!
What's your favorite memory of Bob Knight?
Well, the night that I was working an exhibition game and he come out on the floor and I pointed to the spot to go out of bounds. And everybody in the place thought I told Bob Knight to go sit down. I just said that's where the ball's coming in play.
He's a legend, Jerry. You can't tell him that.
But the amount of stories have come out of all the goodwill that he's done and so forth far outweigh anything else.
He's had a few incidences in his career. He's famous for one. I shall not mention it. But,
if I had a chair,
chair, maybe we can demonstrate right here.
Well, Purdue had a chair throwing contest the following year when IU came up to play.
He was just practicing.
And you know what Knight did?
He participated.
He passed out peppermint candy to all the students in the stand.
Oh, man. If there's ever an icon, Bobby Knight was it.
That was it.
He put IU basketball on the map,
Yep.
and they've been kind of living on that for a long time now. And So, anyways, remembering Bobby Knight, there's a lot out there if you want to see these things about Bobby Knight. The Lady Knights basketball season has started. So we'll talk about that. We got a lot of basketball coming up. We're heading into girls basketball. We'll be broadcasting some games. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Plus, we're getting ready for Thanksgiving, Jerry.
Oh, I can't wait to get into that turkey coma.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's take a break. Why don't you take us out of here?
We'll be back in just a few minutes with wrestling, and you're watching Knightline Live. At Kate's Family Eye Care, we value a family-friendly atmosphere, offering high-quality eye exams. Our expert staff utilizes the latest techniques in eye care. We have a large selection of affordable glasses that are unique to our area. We are proud supporters of the Northeastern Knights and wish all the teams the best of luck.
Go Knights!
13,000 feet has a way of testing a man's soul. After all, you were never meant to take on such an endeavor. That long drop is what separates human from superhuman. That fear is the only enemy, the only thing keeping you from feeling that power in your bones. And here we are, right here, right now. Let's fly.
You're good at motivation, we're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
KOA exit 151A, registration in the general store. It's a family-owned campground with pull-through parking for RVs or travel trailers with full hookups. Rent a cabin. Relax at one of the fire pits or picnic by the pond. A playground for the kids, or get in around the golf before dinner. Take a water-soaking hayride, lay out by the pool, and then take a dip.
Do you have a big event coming up soon? Dejo Photos has you covered. Check us out on Facebook. We are professional photographers who strive to capture all of your special moments, such as family portraits, senior photos, live action sports, graduations, and so much more. If you don't think photos are important, wait until they are all you have left. Contact us via email at info@dejophotos.com or call us at 765-277-0047. Dejo Photos, capturing memories one photo at a time.
Coming together, every day to make a difference for you, for me, and everyone in between. Because at Dot Foods, when we celebrate each other's differences and work together to make the community a better place, we become great together. At Dot Foods, what matters to you matters to us, where communities matter. Dot Foods.
Welcome back to Knightline Live, and we got Todd Kroll with us, the new wrestling coach, and Michael Henderson, the lone senior on the mats. And thanks for joining us tonight.
We should mention Todd's the new head coach,
Yeah.
right? But he's been around for a long time. So.
Well, that's just because he's old.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
growing that beard since he started, so that's how that's been going.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for coming. We appreciate it. I'm excited for wrestling. I've learned a lot about wrestling over the last 3 or 4 years since we started chatting with you guys about it. We try to live stream and broadcast that, which we'll talk about here in a minute here. But Michael, your senior year, I want to ask, you're just off of football season.
Yeah.
Now you go right into wrestling. Senior years are busy anyways, right? I mean, you got a lot of stuff that's going on. So, talk to us about things you're preparing for your senior wrestling season and what you're doing.
Well, obviously I'm just practicing.
Yeah.
You know, not very many breaks. I'm lifting whenever I can, and I'm always on the mat. But big goals right now are another sectional and conference championship, and I really want to win regionals this year.
Okay.
A lot and make it to state.
Yeah. Okay. How long you've been wrestling?
This is my 5th year.
5th year. Okay. So you started in the 8th grade.
Yes, sir.
All right. So tell us about the progress you made from the 8th grade to now. Because you were I had a conversation with the former coach Corey Baker about you and the potential you had, and we really, I think the idea last year you kind of came into your own there. So tell us what went into that and how that came about.
I just work hard. I feel like I'm one of the hardest workers on the mat at almost any given moment. I spend pretty much every off season just wrestling the whole time.
Okay. So you're into it, not just a season, and a lot of wrestlers will do that. They'll do an off-season program.
Yeah.
Your weight class, same as last year?
I'm not sure actually. So
Okay.
far, I was pretty adamant on wrestling heavyweight this year because I thought I'd be a lot
Heavyweight is what? Over what weight?
over anything over 215, basically up
Okay.
to 285.
Okay.
Right now I'm about 245, and I was gonna try and stay in this range and maintain it. But I'm feeling a lot slower and more sluggish here, so I was thinking of cutting back down to 215.
Okay. And was that your weight class last year?
Yes, sir.
215?
I've wrestled, well, it was 220 last year. But
220, okay.
Yeah, they switched all the weight classes around this year.
All right. Well, we'll have to ask Todd about that. But, boy, that's not to be confusing, right, guys?
Yeah.
So you haven't decided yet, but there's a big difference between 245 and 215. It sounds. I'm not good at math, but that sounds like 30 pounds there.
Yeah.
So you got some weight to lose if you're going to get down there.
Yeah, I've cut more. It's not a big deal. It's,
Easy, Jerry.
It's
Easy
not.
enough, right?
Yeah, you'll get old someday.
Yeah. All right. Well, Todd, let's chat with you a bit. This is your first year at the head of the ship. All right, but you're not new to this. You've been doing wrestling for how long? Probably a long time, I'm guessing.
I'm coaching off and on probably close to 25, 30 years.
Okay.
Coached nonstop with youth for probably 12 years.
Yeah, you're still involved with the youth program.
Still involved with the youth program here, and then coaching for the high school. Volunteered a year, and then I've been coaching in some fashion for 5 years with high school. So.
All right, so you've been an assistant coach with the program for a few years, anyways. You also have a couple daughters that are on the team, Heather and
Olivia.
Heather's a junior this year, and Olivia's a freshman.
Yep.
Let me ask you, having a child wrestle on the team, does that give you extra? Are you harder on your kids than you are on your own kids than you are on the other kids?
Usually, always.
You are? Okay. You don't make any apologies for that, do you? Usually you have to guard against that, because Jerry had kids that played
two
ball.
daughters. Yeah.
And you know, you have to nudge him every once in a while. He's being a little hard on Lexi and Sasha.
Yeah.
But you know, it's natural. You don't want to show favoritism.
I think every kid is different too.
Yeah.
You can push some harder than you can push others, and even when they're both yours, you can push them differently. So.
All right. So, what are some changes? It sounds like some changes have gone on in wrestling.
Yeah.
So, tell us some of the big changes.
Biggest one's probably weight classes.
Okay.
They decided to take away a heavier weight class. So one of the big changes, we now go 75
To 90.
to 90 to 215 to heavyweight.
Okay.
Where before we had an 82 to 95, 220 heavyweight. So they took one of our heavyweight classes out and then stuffed it down in there. Now we have like a 50, a 57, a 65. So they kind of added the weight class down in the middle.
With that change, what was the rationale?
You know,
to change that, you think?
I think a lot of teams for years were struggling filling the heavier weight classes, but they had an abundance of middleweights.
Yeah.
Trying to not make as big of jumps in weight classes there and get more kids on the team. And it's been, you know, I can't. We've always had big guys for the most part. But this year we're thin where they added the weight classes.
All right.
So it's going to hurt us this year.
So how many wrestlers do you have? Or, you know, I know it's a fluid number sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's real fluid right now.
Yeah.
But
10, right?
I'd say 10 to 15.
Okay. All right.
We have some kids that say they're coming out, but they haven't been at practice yet.
They won't.
Some people that are still getting physicals and that
Is it
type
too
of
late?
stuff.
If someone
No,
wanted to wrestle,
no.
is it too late?
No.
When's your first meet?
Our first meet is December 6th.
All right, so you got some time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. You know, if you're not in a winter sport, all right. Let's say you're a football player and your next sport is baseball. Talk to that kid right there. Say, why do they want to wrestle?
You know, I don't think it matters what sport you play or you're involved with. Wrestling's going to improve it. I mean, it works on balance, agility, strength. The biggest thing is mental toughness. In my opinion, it prepares you so much for obstacles in life and things you're going to face. I know me, if I'm, and I might be a little biased, but I do a lot of hiring and in a role at work, that is always a positive thing if someone says they're a multi-sport athlete or that they wrestle.
A little bit of discipline there.
Right.
They've had that discipline approach.
Someone that can make weight consistently and be at practice and do what it takes to be a wrestler is usually a
Now,
good
making
athlete.
weight's a big deal in wrestling. All right, Michael, I want to go back to you. Sounds like you want to lose a lot of weight there. I guess you can't go have that chicken bacon ranch sandwich down there at my because that's probably not on your menu.
Well, I'll take yours. don't
Yeah,
worry.
we'll throw them over in our direction because that thing was good. So you're a senior. What you got plans for after school, or you know what do you got going on?
I'm mostly undecided, but
Okay.
wrestling in college has definitely been probably one of the things closer to the top of my list.
Okay.
Because I've been looked at by a couple schools, and it just obviously I like wrestling,
Yeah.
so I feel like it would be a nice, unique challenge for me to go through as wrestling in college, getting a degree in something. I don't know what, but
Hey, you're just a senior in high school. You don't have to plan the rest of your life today. All right. We won't ask for that life plan. What's the best thing you like about wrestling? What tell us why? Why would a kid want to come wrestle?
I like winning.
All right, winning's always a good thing. Winning's great.
if I was bad at wrestling, be completely honest, I probably wouldn't do it.
Okay.
I don't know. It's really satisfying.
Have you always been this good, though?
No.
All right, so you stuck it out through the bad times to get to this point.
I was
right?
always at least mediocre.
Okay, but
little
you weren't great. You must have had some losses in there when you were mediocre.
Yeah, I had some losses when I got a lot better too.
Okay, but you stuck it out, right?
I did, yeah.
All right. So what was the incentive for you to stick it out? Were you getting better? You're trying to get better? You're just firing yourself up?
I think I liked the stability of the sport. I liked having a place where I could come and have like an outlet, if that makes sense, for a couple hours. Really, it's fun.
All right.
Well, Todd, and we'll bring up the obvious here. You had a quite the summer this year. You got to travel to was it Budapest?
We went to Istanbul.
Istanbul.
Turkey.
Been there. Traffic nuts.
Horrible.
Crazy traffic. But what an opportunity, not only for Heather, but for you, to meet people around the world in the wrestling world and all that. Give us a little synopsis about that.
Traveling, being part of Team USA was amazing. Getting to interact with those coaches, see how they run practices, what their emphasis is on, keeping kids engaged.
And this was international meet, right?
Yeah,
Is that right?
this was the world. So,
Okay,
this
all right.
This was big. Everybody, as far as the tournament goes, and it was an experience. They had everybody at the same hotel. They bussed everybody to and from the venues. We practiced at the venues. Team USA organized everything. As far as our flights, our foods, so it was well put together. One thing I found amazing was they want the wrestlers comfortable. They were not, egos didn't play into it, so they want the athletes. I think every wrestler that was there had their personal coach in their corner. So Team USA really pushed that and wanted the wrestlers comfortable.
So that was you.
Yeah, that was me for Heather. But.
Okay. Let me ask you about, are there differences between the kids in Istanbul versus the American kids, or are they all basically the same? Or what are some of the things you observed?
Every country's different.
Right.
And one of the biggest things I observed was in the dining hall. And some of the kids that came in there and ate would just pile the food on their plates. Just pile the food on. And I'm sitting back wondering, how are they making weight? What is their rationale? And talking to the coaches, so many of them, that's their outlet. That's something they never get to do because they're from third world countries, or
right.
they don't get to eat like that at home. They don't have the foods. They don't have. So sometimes making those world teams means a little bit more to the ones from other countries.
Okay.
That's a great analogy right there.
Or getting away from the violence and stuff that goes on against.
We got it pretty easy here,
yeah.
don't we?
Yeah. We do.
So tell us about your team. Obviously one of the more difficult things for any high school wrestling team is filling the weight classes. We're no different there. Who do we need to recruit tonight? Tell us the weight classes.
Really anyone from 26 to 57.
That's 126
to 157.
If you're 126 pounds to 157, Todd's recruiting you right now. He'll teach you wrestling, right?
I was going to.
We won't make you cut weight. We won't.
You won 57?
Close.
Close.
I'm close to 57. 257.
And we'll take kids all sizes.
Yeah.
Whether they're a starting wrestler, someone to fill a spot next year, someone for a practice partner, and someone just to better yourself as an individual.
It gets me when I watch how some of the wrestlers are just really technical, and everything. And then the others, my favorite's the heavyweight.
Yeah.
I love the heavyweight, and I love the lightweight, because lightweight is like, just quick, like two scorpions out there just going at it. And then the heavyweight is Here we have at it. Let's see who's strong.
Now,
And
is that
those are fun.
accurate how he's describing that?
Pretty accurate.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but until just a couple years ago when Rick and me started broadcasting this stuff, I didn't watch wrestling.
We didn't know a thing about it.
And now I sit back and watch. I'm like, okay, come on, grab, roll, push, and so forth. And it's really gotten to be interesting. And it's something that if you haven't watched, you need to get out and go to these meets and watch these because they're really interesting. It don't take up a lot of time. Usually an hour and a half, things are over.
Yeah.
Pretty quick.
At least at a dual meet. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, the bigger meets take
Yeah.
Longer.
good part of the day.
Some of those meets are slogs you get through.
Well,
They're
they
so
are.
rough.
A
They-
slog.
So, what are the big meets? Either one of you guys, you got some big meets that you kind of focus on here. So, Michael, tell us what are some of those?
We're wrestling in that Richmond tournament this year, right? We've got a pretty tough tournament coming up. We replaced the Super Six. We're going. I can't remember what it's called. What is it?
I'd have to look.
It-
I don't know.
It's at Richmond High
It's
School.
at Richmond. McCutcheon's going to be there. Richmond's going to be there. A lot of super good wrestling schools.
Yes.
Okay.
Especially McCutcheon. They've got some absolute studs on their team. And then we've got the Spartan Classic as well.
That's a big one.
That's in
Yeah.
Connersville.
Yes. Really tough tournament. 2 days. That's one of the tournaments that is a slog to get through sometimes.
Yeah, sure.
It's rough. You might end up wrestling 10 matches in 2 days
Oh my!
Wow.
over the span of like 8 hours. It's
Boy,
rough.
come Saturday late afternoon, you're probably done for, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
I can only imagine how bad it is for some of the kids that have to cut like a lot of weight. Then they're dehydrated and they're exhausted.
Yeah, you're giving away the secrets now. You know that, right? You got to make weight, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's some leeway in there, but not a whole lot, right?
Yeah.
Well, after so if the weight class is 215,
Yeah,
they have to weigh 215.0 or less,
right.
and then after Christmas they get 2 pounds. Um,
Because
Well,
you
and
put
we're
on
all
a couple.
we're all
you
eating
know.
pies at Christmas, and they understand that, right?
Yeah.
So,
Wrestling's very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been. It's very interesting to me.
well, I'm assuming, that we'll be at the sectionals again this
Yep.
year, right? That was popular, I think,
Yep,
Jerry. I
it
think
was.
people enjoyed that. We'll hopefully have better coverage because we learned last year. We learned a lot, so we'll. I think we can do some things better. Richmond's the regional, right? Then is it the same format with wrestling? Have they still have a semi-state and state?
Yes.
They
Yeah.
haven't cut that out because a lot of sports have.
Now they did come semi-state. They did change up where some of the teams are going this
Okay.
year.
Oh, okay,
So that
that's
was
good.
another big change as where kids are funneling through and maybe the teams that you'll face. I think up and through regional, it won't change from last year, but after regional, there'll be a few different teams at semi-state.
And will your team still be going to
Still be
Newcastle?
at Newcastle, yeah.
A great venue, by the way.
Yeah.
Very
if
nice, Joe.
If you want to go see some good wrestling,
Oh, absolutely.
Newcastle's a great place, and you get a lot of people there, and it's loud, all right? Because let's face it, wrestling's there's emotion involved in this. A lot of emotion. I've seen a little, some of this going on down between the coaches in some of these meets here, but everybody keeps a cool head. So
Well, you know what? Our clock is
ticking.
And Todd, thanks for joining us tonight. And nothing but best of luck to you guys this year with everything. And obviously, if there's anything that we can do promotional wise, let us know, and we'll plug it and put it on our live stream page and all that. And Michael, good luck to you this year.
Thank you,
I
sir.
hope you go undefeated all the way, state finals.
You had a good record last
Yeah.
year. I mean,
It was all right.
Yeah, what was it? Tell us what it is.
It was 36-2.
Oh,
Oh,
it
yeah,
was that
well,
two that killed us,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No, but
You had a great year. You had
But good
an
luck
awesome
with
year.
that. And also, good luck in your future. If you go to college and wrestle, hey, that's a great experience for you. And
All right.
anyway,
Well, we're going to take a break. We're going to hear from our sponsors. You're watching Knightline, and we are live.
Dreaming of having more space? With a mortgage from First Financial, you're golden. We keep things simple with friendly, personalized service from application to closing. We'll help you find the right mortgage loan to fit your unique needs. Plus, you can qualify for relationship pricing with an eligible checking account. And since we live in the communities we serve, you can count on our local knowledge to make sure the pieces fall into place for an on-time closing. So stop dreaming and start moving with First Financial Bank.
First! Harmon sheds are custom built to your specifications and needs. But wait, there's more! Harmon sheds build privacy fences, decks for your pool, beautifully designed decks for all around your home, and detached pavilions. Let Joe and the crew do all the work, so all you need to do is relax.
This is Rick Fletcher. When my car needs repair, I take it to 715 Simharjan Parkway in Richmond, home of Knuckle Busters. With their ASE certified technicians, why would you go anyplace else? They repair domestic and imports, air conditioners to Z-bars. Knuckle Busters Auto Repair. Call 765-488-1470 and tell them to go Knights!
Are you being bugged about your floral needs? The Leaning Lily, 927 South 9th, is a full-service florist with lots of great gift ideas like wind chimes, potted plants, hanging baskets, teddy bears, and much, much more. Convenient delivery available to residential, the hospital, and local funeral homes. The Leaning Lily has bouquets to say, I love you, to weddings to say, I do. The Leaning Lily, we have you covered.
Hey there, my name is Gibson and I would love to invite you to LifeSpring Students. That's our youth group at LifeSpring Church, which is just south of Northeastern on 27, and we meet from 7 to 8:30 on most Thursdays, but the doors open at 6:30. It's a great way to get to know more about God, meet some friends, as well as get to know about yourself some more as well. Plus, it's a lot of fun. We usually have some basketball and dodgeball, along with some other activities. And if you want to know more, check out lifespring.tv/students.
Welcome back to Knightline Live, and we're going to be talking some band here, specifically jazz band, I believe is what it is. I don't know. I'm a rookie at this. She says she has a French horn. I have an English horn. I don't know what's the difference.
All right. Well, let me introduce our guest. This is Addison Marker. Addison, how are you?
I'm good. How are
Addison's a junior, and you recently had an honor for an instrument. So tell us what the honor was and what the instrument was.
Well, Miller nominated me for
Miller. Who's Miller?
Mrs. Miller.
Mrs.
Band director.
Kimberly. This is Kimberly Miller. She is the middle school band director. Is that correct? But you also work with the high school kids, I'm assuming.
So I'm a middle school band director, and then I'm the jazz band director for high school. So
gotcha.
I do a little bit of both.
All right. So this was specifically for jazz band, right?
Yes.
All right. So tell us what you want.
Well, she asked if I wanted or would be interested in doing all district jazz honor band. And
Okay.
I was like, sure, why not? I'll sign up.
All right.
And she sent it in, and they accepted me. So
Okay. So
and I'm going there for part 2 on alto saxophone.
all right. So my question is, you've been to this place that you go to play or try out, or how does that work? Explain to us what goes on.
Well, it's a weekend.
See, we don't know anything, all right? So we're relying on you guys to educate us.
It's a Saturday, Sunday. On Saturday, you have an 8-hour practice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of grueling.
It very
especially
much
for
is.
a high school kid on a Saturday morning.
Very
okay?
much. And
Yeah.
then Sunday you have your performance.
Okay.
You only have a weekend to do it, and they give you your music beforehand so you can learn it.
Okay.
But you basically have that 8 hours to get all of your music down.
Oh, what?
And then you
now-
perform it the next day.
And where does this all take place?
I think Newcastle or is it?
This one's at Pendleton.
Okay.
Jazz is at Pendleton.
Okay. All right.
They have a nice auditorium there at Pendleton.
Yes, they
That's-
do.
yeah, it's very nice.
All right.
Yes.
So let me ask you: Are you nervous?
Yeah.
No, I don't mean about being here, but
No.
for the.
About everything.
Oh, you are.
Yes.
Don't,
great.
We're just normal human beings here, Addison. So, all right, Kimberly, this is year 2 for you. Is that right? Okay. You also directed summer band. I understand it was a little bit fly by the seat of your pants, but that's what we do around here. So we're fully versed in flying by the seat of our pants. So,
Worked out great.
but I want to congratulate you.
Yeah.
It was great.
Thank
I mean, you put on a good show. I understand there's some challenges in band right now. All right, it's pretty obvious. We're probably at half of what we used to be, roughly. So, talk about that and tell what's your role here at the school specifically, and what's your role here with in relationship to what Addison's doing. How's
So
that? How's that for a mouthful?
I am. It's a lot, but it's okay.
Okay.
So I'm technically the middle school band director, but I also direct the high school jazz band. And I will say, as small as the marching band is kind of going right now,
Right.
I will say middle school numbers are actually going up.
Great.
So
Good.
we have a very large 6th grade band this year, which is really, really awesome. So hopefully if they all stick with it, they'll all get there, and then our summer band will be even bigger.
right,
So
good.
I am wishful thinking here. I'm hoping.
Just like a sports team, you feed
Yep.
yourself up the chain.
Exactly.
Right? You
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
Start when start in elementary school
Yep.
probably. But, so you
Yeah.
need that feeder system to be nice and full.
Yes.
So when it comes time to high school, they're participating in summer band and that type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
what is your relationship to what you're the jazz
Yes.
coach or whatever
Yeah.
you're director,
Yep.
right? Okay. So do you help Addison prepare for this event?
Yeah. So what happens with this event? So they choose students from. This is a district. So it's kind of like when you're in sports and you have certain teams that you go up against certain schools.
Right.
Same thing for band, as we have specific bands that are in our district or in our region. So we nominate students that we think could be a part of this honor band. And then we put in some information, like how do they do in class, how do they sound when they play, different things like that. And then a bigger committee of the band puts together certain qualities that they're looking for. And this year they had chosen Addison.
Wow.
So
It's quite an honor.
So how many people were in this band?
for jazz band, it's actually quite small. So with as many students that probably apply, there's maybe like 20 to 25 students that get into this group.
Oh, that's great.
Which
And
is
that's
why
all.
this is
How-
really awesome.
How
to
many
have
schools
somebody.
in this district?
Quite a few.
All right. Okay.
Quite a few. I would say it could probably get up to 20. I have not honestly sat down and counted
Okay.
because there are quite a few.
Wow. So
yeah.
that's quite an honor. So there's a lot of
Yes, it
kids
is.
that get nominated or whatever.
This year we had 2 students get nominated this year, and we had 1 get chosen. And this is the first year, to my knowledge, now I haven't been here too long,
Right.
but to my knowledge, this is one of the first years that we've had somebody actually make it into the group, which is
All
really
right.
awesome.
I think
Wow.
because I don't remember. I would remember this and that would happen, but I do not remember that situation.
So we have a star amongst us, right? Is that what we're saying here in Addison? I'm not trying to embarrass you. I can tell it's working now. All right, so you got to tell us when this is all going down. What's the dates, and can we show up and watch? Do you have a cheering section? Can you yell out, go Addison, or how does this all work? So go ahead.
It's this Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, it's
Oh,
coming
wow.
up.
Yeah, very, very soon.
So you've been practicing.
Trying.
Okay.
I've listened to all of them because I
Okay.
just got my music last week, so I
Okay.
haven't had too much time, but I'm trying.
Okay.
And Sunday's the performance at 4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so this is not 3 weeks from
Yeah,
now, you're in.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Wow.
So what happens is there anything that goes on after this performance this weekend? Is there something further, or this is it right here?
Yeah.
All right.
It's just a quick weekend. Play with a bunch of random people that you don't know.
Yeah.
Perform, and then you're all done. Wait till next year.
So what instrument are you playing?
For jazz,
Yeah.
alto saxophone.
Alto sax. I'll tell you. I was refereeing
Jerry's our resident musician.
at Hinkle Fieldhouse, and they had a young man come out and play the national anthem on the alto sax, and it was absolutely phenomenal.
Now, this,
It sounded, it was super.
okay, so I'm ignorant. I don't know anything about musical instruments. Okay, so it begs the question: is there a bass sax or? Oh, there is.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's alto saxophone, soprano saxophone, tenor saxophone, and baritone saxophone.
Oh, which would be bass, right?
Yeah.
That's what I call bass. All
Yes.
right. I didn't. Boy, that's a lot of different saxes.
Yeah.
Saxophone. I didn't realize. Wow.
You need to get out more, Rick.
I need to get over to the band room and figure out what's what.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't know. I would grab a saxophone thinking, okay, this is a saxophone. I'm going to get on the table and play.
And you know who's made the saxophone a real famous thing that a lot of kids see is, of course, Lisa Simpson on The Simpsons playing the saxophone.
See, I didn't know that. I never watched that. So.
A lot of young, I mean, it's turned into a big thing, and a lot of young ladies want to play the saxophone because of that. And I think kids playing instruments is wonderful. I think it's one of the best things ever.
Yeah. So, Addison, you've been doing band a long time. We talked a little bit before. Do you do summer band also? Or?
Yes.
All right. So that's part of your gig then, right? And I'm assuming you're going to... What about... What would you say, because every kid I talk to who does summer band, I had a child that did damsels and band, okay, in the summertime, and I was right into everything. I was the parent that would go to all the practices and watch, okay? But my question is, if you could look at that camera over there, all right, and you could tell somebody what is the best thing about being in the band, or several best things.
Well, I think it's the people you meet, all the fun things you get to do, all the hard work you put in. It's definitely fun. I'm in band because I enjoy it. It's my passion. It's what I want to do when I go to college.
Okay.
So I think it's just a passion that you kind of grip.
Yeah, so when you're in a common theme, Kimberly, with the kids who do summer band is you build lifelong friendships. And, you know, there's some camaraderie amongst band members from different schools. You get to see them also. But, you know, amongst your teammates, there's all that stuff going on. Because you guys used to go away to band camp. You don't do that anymore. But you go down to the Coleman Center, it's almost as good. You know, I think it is. Plus, it's closer. You know,
It's air conditioned.
Yeah, air conditioning. Oh, by the way, it does get hot out there on the pavement in the summertime, does it not? Addison, can you tell us? Can you vouch for that?
It's awful.
It's a lot of work. We've seen them, Jerry. You've seen them.
I didn't realize it gets hot out there.
It gets hot.
I thought it was sunny and 70 all day.
Yeah, sunny and 98 degrees. Sun is shining, and we don't get water breaks for another half hour. So.
Hey, I try my best.
Yeah, but it's rigorous. I mean, it's not a walk in the
No,
park.
it's. I mean, we don't call it a sport, but
literally a lot of aspects like you would consider a sport.
It's
you know,
its
a lot
own
of-
animal.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of dedication involved. You know, a lot of work.
Well, you got to have physical conditioning, right? You can't just go out there after eating Twinkies all day long, or else you'll melt out there on the track.
With
wherever
a
you are.
marshmallow out there, your own s'more.
I mean, it is. You know, there's a lot of aspects to it that you can look at as a sport that we consider normally a sport. So, well,
I got one quick question for
go,
Addison.
go.
A quick question. When you talked about wanting to go to play, in a band in college and so forth, are you having any ideas of what you want to do in the future? Even though you're just a junior, right? Got a whole other year to get that all figured out. But are you any plays that you're interested in going, or what you want to do?
Yeah, I'm hoping to go to Ball State and be
Chirp, chirp.
be a band director. Hopefully, major in music education, maybe minor in jazz.
Maybe
history.
maybe when you get out of school, Miller will hire you. How's that?
There you go. Work with you.
Well, that's wonderful. That's a wonderful thing right there. You know that the Beatles and me, I helped the Beatles write a song, don't you?
Yeah.
You know that famous picture of them standing on Abbey Road? They wanted to change it, and I said, let it be, and they said, that's a great song. That's
All right,
that's how
on
it
that,
was.
folks, on that. Hey, ladies, we appreciate you coming. Addison, good luck.
Yes.
You know, we wish you the best. You know, get a good night's sleep the night before, although you probably won't sleep a wink. I mean, that's probably how that's going to work. But good luck. We wish you the best. And, you know, we'll look forward to the future things that you guys are doing. And, of course, we'll probably live stream band day out on the football field again like we did.
Yeah,
That was a
absolutely.
lot of
Great
fun.
time.
And
it was
I'm
fun.
glad we did it. And we're going to do it again because you know what? You guys deserve the publicity. So, all right, let's take a break here, Jerry.
Woo. Hey, we'll be back in just a few minutes after these commercials, and you're watching Knightline Live. Martin's Country Mart, US 27, Fountain City. Swing in and grab a coffee or a frazzle. Maybe a fountain drink at Martin's Country Mart. We also have all your favorite snacks, bottled drinks, and of course, sweet bakery items. Plenty of accessories for dinner. And don't forget the grill menu, covering breakfast, lunch, dinner, and of course, the kids' favorite, pizza. Martin's Country Mart, Fountain City. You've had a hard day at work and all you want to do is sit in your lounge chair in the nice cool air? Then it hits. The AC's not working. The living room feels like the Sahara Desert. Call Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. In just a short time, it'll be nice and cool. And then all you'll need is a sign that says, "No penguins allowed." Call 765-966-0994. Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Proud sponsors of the Knights. Did someone say boom, baby? Call Scoretti Pyrotechnics at 765-977-2757. Scoretti Pyrotechnics has performances for birthdays, weddings, school athletic events, other occasions, and of course, the 4th of July. Scoretti Pyrotechnics are proud supporters of Knights Athletics. Boom, baby! Smith, McQuiston, and Webster Funeral Home has proudly served the Fountain City area since 1886. From the time you walk up the steps, Funeral Director Keith Webster's goal is to carry forward the legacy of personal service established by the Smith and McQuiston families. Using modern technology and good old-fashioned attention to detail, we will strive to earn your confidence in us by treating families the way we think we would want to be treated. Smith, McQuiston, Webster Funeral Home. Rick, thank goodness somebody called timeout because I am hungry.
I'm starved, Jerry. Hey, with 3 different Richmond locations and 1 in Hagerstown, here's a Subway sandwich shop near you.
And you can always order off the app for curbside pickup. The drive-thru's always open, and the way that I prefer it, I just like to walk in.
Here's your sub.
Listen, Subway, eat fresh.
Go Knights!
Welcome back to Knightline Live. I'm Jerry Middleton, and with me, as usual, is Rick Fletcher. Rick, Newcastle was a crazy place Saturday with cheerleading going on.
Well, a lot of Knights fans there too, Jerry.
Yeah,
honestly,
big crowd.
Big crowd. Really great performance by the Lady Knights cheerleaders. They finished 3rd in the state in, can't remember the class. You're going to have to help me out.
Traditional routine.
Traditional routine, thank you. So there's a lot of stunts and jumping and flipping and all the stuff that we have seen over the years. with them. Hey, let's kind of see the progression here. If you remember a couple of years ago, they were just kind of dabbling in having a competition cheering team. They went over to Lincoln High School. You and I were there, and big crowd. And so they got a taste of that. Last year they got right into the competition, and they've gone to, a lot of different contests and events. This year it looks like they've made a big step forward.
Well, I think, it's like anything else, like any other sport. You got to have dedication. You got to have energy. You got to have coaching. You got to have players, or i.e. cheerleaders, that buy into what's going on, and they're serious about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And from what we can see, now we're not on the inside, and there's always going to be some tugging going on and back. That's with any organization, whether
absolutely.
it be sports, cheerleading, or
that's
band.
life.
Yeah, that's life. But you're 100% right. It takes all those ingredients to put a team together. And you look at cheerleading and the routines that they do. That's teamwork. I'll tell you. You choreograph that. You got to be spot on with your timing, with your stunts, with everything. So shout out to the cheerleaders. Congratulations to them. They did a fabulous job. Had a nice crowd down there. We got a little video here. My credit to the Northeastern Cheerleading, whoever put these photos out there. I always ask permission if we can use them. And they said, yes, we can. So let's have a tribute to the Northeastern Cheerleaders. Kayla, whenever you're ready, go ahead.
You're watching Knightline Live, and Rick, cheer. The nice thing about it is you can come to basketball games, and you'll get to see the cheer team operate.
Yeah.
And it's no extra cost.
Yeah, absolutely. You get all that entertainment, and congratulations to them. Now, my understanding, and maybe if somebody wants to shoot me a text if I'm wrong, there are different girls on the timeout routine.
Yes.
And there is on the traditional routine.
Yeah.
So more kids can participate, I guess. But it's different talent, different skills that are required.
I think they have 18 girls
total. That's a big squad.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think they're stopping. I think when we talked to Chelsea after the contest that they had there, and at the end of a very long day,
yes,
which it was a long day because these contests are. I mentioned to her, hey, we're looking forward to next year. And she seemed agreeable to that,
Yeah,
right in the
yeah.
midst of that. So hopefully we can do the same thing again next year. If we are, we're going to live stream that
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
we think that's a worthwhile event. That
I do too.
We ought to put that on and everybody can see it. But like everything else, where do we want people? Get in the gym, right?
Get in the gym, watch
the replay later.
And segue into that was girls basketball started Saturday night.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of hope here with this girls basketball team. We've heard it from the coaching staff, from the players, amongst others, and they're talented. I mean,
absolutely.
They're a very talented team. Unfortunately, came up a little bit short on Saturday. They went up to Yorktown. Yorktown appears to be an improving team. I'm not sure we played our best, but anyways, we came up 2 points short in the first game of the year. A lot of 3A, some 4A schools on the schedule this year.
Absolutely, there are some new teams on the schedule this year, and of course we start. They travel to Muncie Central on Tuesday.
Yeah, a 4A school.
4A school.
And what time is that game? 7 o'clock.
I think it's a 7 o'clock tip.
7
There's
o'clock.
no JV game, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
So check the
schedule.
event link.
Yeah.
And it will show you. And then our first broadcast of the season is Friday night as the Wildcats from Franklin County come to town, and they're pretty good.
Yeah, another 3A school. Yeah. So the first, right out of the gate, you get a 3A school, 4A school, and a 3A school. That's how you got to do it.
Well, you got to play teams.
Yeah.
You're no better if you're playing Brownie Troop 114.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
This isn't upwards basketball, right?
You got to play, good ball clubs. If you want to get better, you got to play better.
Yeah, you look at the champions, especially at the 1A, 2A levels. The teams that come out of there and win sectionals, regionals, semi-state, go on to state. They're heavily loaded with 4A and 3A schools.
Yeah,
a lot of them that do that.
And I agree. You need to be. If you want to be better, you got to play those teams.
Yes, even if you get beat, even if you get beat, you just need to. You need to gear up because everything points to. I'm sure they have their goals like every other team does. First of all, you got the Wayne County tournament, then you've got the Tri-Eastern Conference, which I don't think we've won that in a long time.
It's been a while.
It's been Winchester for a long time, so there's the standard. Winchester Community High School has been the standard in girls basketball. And so I think last year it might have been Tri, if I remember correctly.
Tri had a good ball club last year, too.
Yeah, so... anyway, so that's on the whiteboard probably. Then that sectional, you got to win that sectional. So, and do you know the last time girls basketball has won a sectional, Jerry? Has it been a while?
I think it was like 2011 or 12.
So it's been a few years.
It's been a few years.
All right.
I'll have to check that out.
All right. So this team is very capable.
Absolutely.
They got some great players. Everybody's a year older. They lost a couple seniors from last year, but seem to have been able to replace those players.
Yep.
And everybody who's playing now played quite a bit last year, so you got experience. Everybody's a year older. So we really should be looking forward to a lot of good things from this girls basketball team. Tomorrow night, if you can get over to Muncie Central, get over there and watch them play. But Friday night, come to the gym.
Yep.
And we're going to broadcast. That'll be our very first basketball of the year. And we're looking forward to that.
And then go home and watch it because, excuse me, you're going to see some new camera angles, more cameras.
Yeah.
But not any better commentating.
The commentating stays the same.
Stays the same.
But yeah, and we're proud of that.
Yeah, we're proud of it.
We saw a lot of that in volleyball this year with these camera angles. So we're going to refine all that for basketball. So hopefully we put a good product out over the air for you.
Well, I'll toot our horn.
Okay.
No pun intended on the band or the jazz here. But I'll toot our own horn. We have a lot of people that come up to us from other schools
Yeah.
when we have their kids on after a match or a game because we're doing a tournament or something.
Yeah.
And they're all standing up there with their phones,
Sure they are.
videoing them on our show, and it's just a big deal. And people are like, "Why don't our school do that?"
And you know what? As a person doing from this side of it, I love doing that. You know,
Yeah.
that's why we're here, to bring these kids on. And yeah, okay, so maybe they're from Centerville or Hagerstown. You know what? It's enjoyable for them. They've all got parents and grandparents, and
The young man from Shenandoah that you interviewed, I can't think of his name in baseball.
yeah.
Anyway, just sitting up here, you just dreaded him because he's getting all these base hits
Yeah,
and doing
yeah,
stuff like that. Then after the game, you interview him, you're like, I just can't help but like him.
Yeah, nicest guy in the world.
You know, and it's great. And he had it, and hopefully if he's watching tonight, I hope he's having a great time at Purdue.
All right, I think that's it, Jerry.
I think it
we're
is.
at the end. So, anything for the good of the cause, or are we done?
I think we're done.
All right. Well, next week, let me give you a little primer.
All right.
Next week, senior boys basketball players will be on the set, and we're also going to bring back Dan Harney.
Oh.
Dan Harney from the Western Wayne News. He's an expert storyteller, and he'll have some stories to tell us. So we're going to look forward to that. Usually talking to Dan is one of my favorite things to
Yeah,
do. So,
absolutely.
So he'll be on next week.
Well, that sounds good.
Good
I
night,
think
Gracie.
For Rick Fletcher and our executive producer, Kayla, I'm Jerry Middleton, and it's been another good night.